Well, how y'all doing? I got a knife I'd like to take a look at, and I'll bring you along with me. I don't know why I talk like that. I don't have a southern accent. But sometimes it's fun to just give yourself a little drawl. I don't know. So this is a Yon Xanadu, or YX design. This is the number 622. It says black G10 and then green G10 insert. You can see it's not flush. That's not exactly what it's designed to do there. So yeah, this is a double detent, which means it doesn't lock, but you can open it up and close it pretty quickly. And that's certainly not the first one that they've done. I haven't reviewed yet, but I certainly do have, like this guy from Tucson. This is a YX design. This one's an M390. I have another one, an S90V, but I don't know exactly where I've placed it, but same kind of thing. You got that top flipper that they're known for, and good fidget factor for it. But this is made to a little bit cheaper price. What I can say is that this guy's on 14C28N, which is pretty cool. The ones that they have done for Tucson have been in S90V and M390, so this is, obviously a little bit more budget. I still vastly prefer 14C28N to a lot of other steels just because it's easier to sharpen and, last for quite some time. But, yeah, something interesting with this guy is that the clip is actually stand up on posts rather than attached flush to the knife itself. That does give you, a decent amount of pocket real estate without, the screws sticking up, because almost none of the Chinese manufacturers really want to use flat screws for pocket clips, probably because they have millions upon millions of these that they would rather not waste because they've had to pay for them to be manufactured. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. The other thing that I do find a little interesting and not exactly the best is this back spacer here. Unlike a lot of other knives, this isn't G10. This is a solid aluminum piece. And I've had a problem with this, as I've had with other aluminum back spacers, in that there's no posts that go through here. And I just expect the screws to screw right into the tapped aluminum, which is fairly soft. So one of these two screws over here is stripped. Stays in, and, I've basically told it to do so with a little bit of Loctite. So hopefully I don't lose that screw. But, yeah, I've had the same problem on cold steel. It's just the nature of tapping into aluminum with, hardened steel and whatnot. But, yeah, we can go ahead and take a look at it on the inside of this guy. It's kind of interesting for those who actually like to take a look on the inside. So, yep, there's the that little dude. And then we got T6 for most of the rest of the deconstruction here. You do want to watch these posts when you unscrew them, because they're not inset into the handle, so they will just fly right off if you're not careful. So there you go. And one of those screws is actually oh, never mind, I guess both of them are on this. Okay. I'm talking out my ass again. It happens. So yeah, this is the one that's stripped inside there. This one's not. At least not yet, but, give it a few days, it might happen. So, there, that other screw popped out there. And, yeah, now we can get a closer look on the inside here. So, that's basically what these screws on the front for are, is they're holding on this G10 little scale inside the black one, but it's also holding on both of the double detents here. You can see they got ceramic balls there for the detents. I apparently got a mustache hair in there. That's kind of gross. Oh well. And yeah, we got steel bearings in brass cages on this guy. The action's still pretty good, so I don't really mind that all that much. But yeah, it is fairly interesting. I do like the whole kind of idea and concept of double detents. This one in particular, it'll only grip on one side when it's closed. As you can see, there's only one on the other side there. It's fine. You don't probably want both detents holding it down. It would make the flipping action much more difficult. But something we do see is a full D-shaped pivot. Hooray! I am always for that if it's a possibility. So I got that. We got the little blade stop pin here. That hopefully will stay in place as I try to mash this blade back on down. You know what I can also do is set that in there and then put the blade pin in after it. You know, using tweezers might be a little bit easier for that, but it is what it is. And I'm just sorry about that. I totally just hit my face on the camera. I just wanted a closer look. All right. There you go. It doesn't particularly matter which way the bearings go for these brass guys, but they do have a lip on one side. I generally face them away from the blade, but like I said, it really doesn't matter too much either way. So yeah, you can see it's got kind of a little bit of a cutout in the G10 over here. If I can actually get that a little bit better in frame, as this guy kind of slides onto. And you can see down here, this is the threaded part that you know, easily gets stripped. Unfortunate, but very much a reality when somebody uses aluminum as something to mount other hardware into. You know, it's fine if you use it for handle material. You know, a lot of companies have done that, including Benchmade with, you know, the 940, and well, I guess they've just done it with a bug out. But yeah, man, this guy's a little bit more fiddly when I don't have my face directly in front of it. Okay, so I'll pull that back spacer off. I didn't have nearly this much trouble the first time that I was dealing with it. Suppose I shall put the pivot in first, just to make myself feel better. Not super snug, but you know, enough to get that in there. All right, there we go. Now that'll snap right in there. Gingerly tighten that, but you know, obviously being careful. Yeah, Loctite hasn't exactly done the best job there. I mean, I guess you could technically use permanent Loctite if you really wanted to make sure you'd never lose the screw, but it would be pretty close to the same as just bolting it on. So, I really don't like that option if I can get away with it. But if I actually have these things facing the correct way, which I believe is this way. I honestly hadn't checked, so I suppose we'll find out very soon here, huh? I will lace the screw through the clip first, make that a little bit easier on myself here. And of course, knock the other barrel out the way, as would be tradition. Oh, lovely, another one that is possibly stripped. However, I'm going to try to swap this barrel over. A lot of little fiddly bits here. And before I throw the clip in there, I'll just see if there's any difference whatsoever. And there is. Okay. Is it just not bottoming out enough? Yeah. Yep. Well, you know what? I will actually deal with the clip a little bit later. See if there's anything I can do to secure that a little bit more. That is to say that before this was disassembled, and no, I wasn't really roughing it up or anything, that this thing was decently put together. It wasn't, falling apart or anything crazy like that. But I do like the design of the guy. It's got a, what do we got? And 2 3/4 inch blade there. And the double detent works quite well for, the whole fidget factor thing. Works pretty much as well as the Tucson variants that they've done. The blade itself seems decently treated. I have sharpened this guy, so he's got, decent polish to him. And it did take me a little bit of time, which tells me that it's probably in the super high 50s, if not 60. So there you go. The blade itself, really good, but the construction of the knife itself, well, you've kind of seen. It can deteriorate a little bit, and it's a little scary. I will say that this guy wasn't very expensive, so that might have something to do with it. I think it was $24, maybe, somewhere around there. Whereas, obviously these guys are quite a bit more expensive. I mean, you can find decent deals on them on eBay, like this guy in M390 I got for I think like 54, and the other one with S90V was high 30s or something like that. But that was super lucky, I guess. But the double T-tent works quite well. And I don't think these guys are the first ones to necessarily do that, but they do a really good job of the top flipper, which I haven't seen a whole lot of other companies do with a double detent, and I really do like just how clean it makes the knife. You know, you don't have a pocket pecker or anything like that, like Nick Shabazz would complain about. For me, yeah, I guess it depends on what side you actually have the clip on there, but yeah. So yeah, this was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, just because it was fiddly and kind of giving me trouble with the stupid clip now not resecuring. But yeah, that's something that I do really want to stress to other manufacturers is an aluminum backspacer can look nice, but don't rely on it to hold your screws. You can, do an insert or whatever, and they have on one side, but the other side they haven't. And I do realize that that's because for this they actually have a cutout here in the aluminum backspacer that you can see. Yeah, does slide right kind of in there. Which, it's kind of a neat design decision, but it does really compromise the integrity of your hardware, which, not super great. You know, I can certainly keep this around for some office use and whatnot. It's fairly slim that, hey, it's actually not all that bad without the clip on there. But, yeah, this guy probably won't get a whole lot of pocket time because I don't necessarily know if and or when it might fall apart. There you go. This is a little bit stark contrast from the other YX design that I had taken a look at, which is, I don't know if I can find it, but it's probably in one of my drawers here. Found it. There we go. Yeah, it's a stark contrast to this guy right here, which is also another Yon Xanadu design. Obviously you can see very big difference in the blade and the handle. Since this one's a lot larger. I've already done a review on this guy. I do like the construction on it almost all the way. Decent quality micarta going on there with, G10 with posts, as it probably should be for this kind of knife. And, it's got the same blade steel, 14C28N. And it seems like whoever's manufacturing these guys for YX design, I don't necessarily know who their OEM is for these, but they seem to do a pretty decent job. This one is kind of bumming me out just a little bit, but the knife itself is cool. But yeah, I would probably suggest against this one. But if you do like that double detent style, there's always the Two Sons that do a great job as well. So yeah, that was a lot longer video than I really wanted to spend with this guy, but I suppose it's all worth seeing kind of how the hardware works out on some of these more or less unknown brands here in the West. So there you go. That's kind of my thoughts on the Yon Xanadu YX-622. This guy does have a couple of different colorways. I think it's got like a gray and a black and one other fairly dingy type color. Nothing super bright, but this one just kind of looked the best to me. I think he calls it army green. So, all right. Well, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo.